Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and yeah, we're going to go through it. And so we're proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield. Thank you to them for their continued support. I'll come on to that. In fact, I'll come on to my sponsors in a minute. We've done it. We've done it. We have hit the long-term target milestone of 5,000 subscribers. And I say we've done it because that is exactly how it's been. It's a team effort all the way. I know you see my mug on the screen for the majority of the time, but all of our content now pretty much is based on feedback from other people, whether that's suggestions on how we can improve things or actual live interactions and from your comments and reading your comments and including what you have to say on the Ramble. So this is a channel for everybody, and I am absolutely over the moon that 5,000 people have been bothered to click subscribe to help support us. So long may this continue. I have been teasing and sort of alluding to some changes at 5K, and that will be happening. I'm just going to ask you for a little bit of grace because there's a couple of things for me to iron out first. But we're at a bit of a crossroads here with the Ramble, and it could well, hopefully, the plan might be to take off. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes because there's some exciting things planned around the corner. But tonight, we're here to celebrate. So I can't do that alone. I could, because I know there's a lot of you here with me, but it'd just feel a little bit better with two of my closest Ramble mates, and that is Paul the Man Mountain and Dave the Nose Leary. In fact, it's Team Mountain tonight. How is everybody doing?
Good. She's pretending there's some sun.
Yeah,
and cool. This is the sun. So yeah, just I said they could come on at the start, just because I was on the road to work this morning, and they kicked off being the 25th with the Christmas songs on Radio 2 on the way to work. So in celebration of the 5K. In celebration of everything else, these are available. Sheffield United.
Nice.
Found it in the cupboard. The kids wanted to pull one to start the Christmas festivities. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, well done, you win. No! Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Paul.
Oh, well done, Ronnie.
Oh, well done, Ronnie. You're everywhere. Right, hang on.
It's a Blades match.
So what you got here?
What we got? Nice.
That's
nice.
A key,
a fridge magnet.
Oh, boy.
It's a Blades badge. Look at that.
Nice.
Not bad, is it? I don't know what these cost us. But there's 2 quiz questions as well. One of them's an absolute gimme. But we'll do a little
quick quiz questions.
Hang on. I'll put that on. Since we're having a party. So
Cleo, he won it. He won it, I'm afraid.
Right. Answers on a postcard. There we go. The second one's easy. I already know that one, but this one
King of the Hill. We'll go on.
This one's a tricky one, and anyone in the comments can get the right answer. This is hot off the press.
Okay.
Who is Sheffield United's most capped England player with 16 appearances?
Whilst playing for Sheffield United.
Who is Sheffield United's most capped England player with 16 appearances? Don't dig me out about the question, Jim, because I didn't make it. Now, next one, I expect answers very thick and fast and very easy peasy.
Are we answering them? Are we answering them?
I don't expect you to know that one. I don't want any.
You're underestimating me, but you're probably right.
I think I might be right. I was going to see if someone in the comments who got it first.
They probably will.
Yeah. And no second one, this is a gimme. If you don't know this, I don't know if you're a Blade or not. Which player of Sheffield United scored the first ever Premier League goal?
Easy. We both know that. We don't have to say that because I know we both know that.
The first one, that's a good quiz question, that. So anyone in the comments, if they know the answer,
really good question.
Tell me the answer. I'll tell you the answer later.
The second one.
Maybe we could give them a prize for whoever gets it.
No.
Nice. Well, thank you for that, Team Mountain. Very much appreciated. A nice.
I knew this was a bit ad hoc.
I think I've got it.
Have you got it? Oh, don't
I
shout
think
it.
I might have it.
Let
Are
them,
you clicking?
Let them
Are
do
you
the
clicking?
comments. See who
No,
gets it
no.
first.
I think it might have been in a previous 3 Mardy Blades episode in one of the first 11s.
Where's my badge gone?
Possible, but keep it stum, Dave. We'll see who gets it when we go through the comments, and then we'll see if you were right or not when I tell you the answer.
Okay, that's good. That I like that. I'm going to start us off with a few comments, and then I don't like to be too self-indulgent on this channel, but I've got some thank yous that I want to give out because it's right that I do. It's been as I said at the top, it's a team effort, this, and it always has been. So I've got a few people to thank. But first off, we're going to start with Beast Boy. 5,000, well-deserved, Jimmy, to you and your team. Enjoy it, mate. Well, this is part of the thing we're talking about. Obviously, Paul and Dave have started joining me an awful lot more on streams, which I appreciate, and maybe we hopefully see a little bit more of that. But at the minute, there is no team. I'm a one-man band. So that might be why there's sometimes a little bit of, we're not as polished as maybe other channels are, but we try our best to get as much quality content out to you as we can. I don't post to other platforms as much as I could or should, because I've got a job and a family as well as even though the Ramble is what I love, there isn't a team currently, and that is something that I'm seriously thinking about going forward. And can we maybe start to grow a little bit? But thank you, Beast Boy. Really appreciate that, pal. Congrats, Jimmy, says Finn. Congrats, Jimmy lad. Onwards and upwards, says Bright. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. See you tomorrow. Yes, you will, pal. Congrats on 5K, Jim, says Jamie. Apologies for the fake out last night. That was ridiculous, and I won't forget that, Jamie. So basically what Jamie's talking about is we were 2 away from 5K, and there was a bit of a countdown going on in the Ramblers chat, and Jamie created, I think, 2 YouTube accounts just to get me over the line, said to check it. We'd obviously hit the 5K with those extra 2. And then as we started celebrating, he said, check again. And he'd removed the subs from those 2. So hilarious from Jamie, who gave me the excitement, then pulled the rug. But anyway, we are legitimately over the line now. And thank you to everybody. I know there's been a conscious effort to help us get there, but hopefully those that have done it out of kindness want to stick around because they enjoy what we do. Congratulations, mate, says Gaz. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. On to the next milestone, 10K. Yeah, well, I'm not going to start plugging for that yet, pal, but I'm just can't believe 5,000 people. It's unbelievable. Well done, lads, says Joe. And plenty in time for Christmas. Like and subscribe. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. David, with a very generous super chat. Thank you, pal. 5K, Jimmy. Drinks on me tomorrow. Well done, Blades Ramble and all Ramblers. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, David. That's very kind of you, pal. Already a huge support to the channel by being a Platinum Rambler. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Well done on 5K, says Jack. Huge milestone. Yeah, it does. It feels. I'm proud tonight. I don't often pat myself on the back, but I'm pleased. I can't say any other. Martin says, congrats on your milestone, Jimmy. Onwards and upwards. Up the blades, up the Ramble. This is Martin, who fast-tracked himself, and he's now become a Rambler off his own right. But absolutely, he fast-tracked himself into the mentions and getting shout-outs because he met Andy the Blade while Andy the Blade was on the lash in Benidorm and told me I needed to shout out Martin, who he'd met on the strip. So, yeah, fair enough. Okay, there you go, Martin. Shout out to you, pal. Hope you're well.
Just to say, I met Martin on Saturday.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was nice to meet you, Martin.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, great to have him as part of the team. Congrats, Jimmy, says Jimmy. It's well-deserved quality content, and we have a laugh too. Keep evolving, keep changing things up the blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. That's what we try and do. Josh says, well done, Jimmy. Keep up the good work, up the blades, up the Ramble. And that should be a win tomorrow. Come on, you Blades. Absolutely, we can get on to Oxford shortly because this is a Sheffield United channel after all. It's not just a case of look at us. But I've got to get through these messages first. Chip Butty says, well done, Jimmy. Well deserved. Thank you, pal. Daz says, brilliant, Jimmy. Congrats, mate. Well deserved. Top content and always a brilliant watch. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Daz. David Vinter says, congrats to the Ramble, Jimmy. 6 points this week will make it the perfect start to the week. If we ever bump into each other, a beer will be yours. Absolutely right. And hey, mate, I'll share a beer with anybody anytime. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. Really appreciate your continued support. Jack says, should be 3 points tomorrow. I see us rotating some players, if I'm honest, for Sunderland. Will be interesting if Robbo can try and get his place back in the starting 11. Congratulations, Jimmy. I know how hard you've worked for this and how much it means to you, says Ian. Well deserved, mate. Onwards and upwards for the Ramble. We're all proud and with you for the journey. Thank you, pal. That's really kind. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. I'll get with sausage fingers, no problem. I was going to say I'm a young git with sausage fingers, but I'm in the middle now, unfortunately. Danny says, nice one, Jimmy, over the moon. And I'm spinning past it too. Over the moon for you. Well deserved, and a huge thank you for everything you do and the entertainment you brought to us all.
Can I stop you there?
The Ramble.
Can I stop you?
Subscribe. Come on, you red and white wizards. Go for it, pal.
Sorry, mate. Does it sound odd, Dave, that he's reading all his own well dones on here? Do you want to do a couple for him? Jimmy, mate, he started going, oh, well done, Jimmy. He's talking to himself. Go on, Dave.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Can you click them? Are you able to click them from your end?
No, I'm not clicking them. No, but you can click them. But let Dave do one.
All right. So Tim says, well done, Jimmy. This means a lot to all of us. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Go on. You can do one for yourself, Paul.
Love Paul's intro. Yeah, thank you. And that was all Jimmy's work, by the way. I sent a garish photo of a hungover me in the morning, and then an hour and a half later. Okay.
Have you got it, Andy? Can we see it again?
Just need
Have
one
I got it, Andy, Dave? Have I got it, Andy? If anybody doesn't quite know, in fact, I need to take that comment off screen so that it doesn't show up while I'm playing it. But yes, of course, I've got it, Andy. So if nobody knows what Paul's talking about, this is our new feature on the Ramble. And this is the view from the mountain with a man whose heart's so pure, it's astounding, I think is one of the lines.
This is the view from the mountain with a heart so pure, it's astounding. Man, mountain, strong and true. What a man, what a view.
What a man, what a view.
Well, he just walked in playing air guitar. Go away.
Oh, dear me. Right. Where were we? Right. So
they played that about 2 dozen times yesterday. So
and obviously, Dave the Nose is an equal third in this trifecta, whatever you call it, this triangle. He will, of course, get his own intro at some stage, but you don't want to force these things. I was backed into a corner with no Oxford fan, and I needed Man Mountain or Dave. They were both offered the opportunity, and it's fastest finger first sometimes in our little group. And Paul was the first one, even though I knew he'd been out night before. But brilliant, mate. Thank you for pulling through for us.
Mel says, I hate cheats. I also dislike VAR. However, had VAR been present, 2 players would have walked. Who was on the line? Stevie Wonder. Well, yeah. I think one would have walked because Anel wouldn't have gone, would he? He'd have that happened beforehand. So, yeah, good point.
Okay, so from Matt SB, well done on 5K and thoroughly deserved. Very good.
Thank you to Matt SB. If you don't know, Matt SB is a Coventry fan, but it covers all championship content on YouTube. Very good channel, huge channel, to be fair. And I'm grateful that he came on and helped us out a little bit with his Coventry preview. So thank you to Matt. Much appreciated, pal.
Danny with evening. Congratulations on 5K. Keep up the good work. Up the blades. Like and subscribe.
And Rich, evening, gents. Up the blades and up the Ramble.
Right, Holly.
Rich, also known as Holly, has been calling us out really in Ramblers group. It has to be said. He's been running a point system on anything that we're going to do tonight that we seem to be sort of habits of ours. So how many times my internet glitches, how many times Dave's cats jump on screen. So yeah, thanks, Rich.
Don't worry about it, Rich. We go again, Rich. We go again.
We go again.
I'm disappointed Sensational wasn't in the in that thing.
Dear. Jack's calling out Matt SB, Cough fan in the comments. Ooh.
Yeah. Sorry. I need to skip past that.
Go on then.
Whose turn is it? Is it mine?
It's you. Come on.
All right.
Like a well-oiled machine, this, lads.
I know.
Nigel says, good evening, mate, and a big congratulations to you. Superb achievement. Well-deserved, pal. Love your stream. It adds something very different. Keep up the great work. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe.
Thank you, Nigel. Appreciate it, pal. Jack, I'll come back to your question in a minute, pal. Tim says, is it TC? He was one that jumped into my head, to be honest. Nige thinks it's Jags, and James says it's TC. Mr. Pot says it's Alan Hodgkinson, and David Vinter thinks it's Dino, as does Ray.
Ooh.
Rich says it's Curry.
Well, can I tell you now that
Go for it,
nobody's got it yet?
No.
Which there is some technicalities to this question, I'd imagine. Was he actually playing for United when he got the caps? I'd imagine.
Well, but you could throw out Kyle Walker and Harry Maguire, who didn't get their England caps at United.
No, I know that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but it doesn't offer any other information other than what the question that I said. So, no, nobody's got it yet, boys. Nobody's got it yet.
All right, we'll leave it open then. We'll leave it open. Can't believe the Mountain is nicking the cracker contents from Miss Mountain, says Ian. It's disgraceful, isn't it? Just a little thank you for the fantastic content and congratulations on hitting 5K subscribers. Mr. V, one of our most generous ramblers. Thank you so much, pal. Very much appreciated.
Is it the Canadian yes.
Nice bumping into Dave at Coventry. He looked frozen, says Martin.
I was. That's true.
It's normally Jimmy that freezes, though, isn't it, on the screens?
Hey. Go on. Who wants to go next then?
I'll go then. Congratulations, Jimmy. Brilliant content, James Toseland. Cheers, James, lad. Congratulations.
I've always wanted to know, is that the James Toseland, as in World Superbike rider? Because he is a Sheffield lad.
Definitely is, 100%.
And
I've heard he's a massive
real deal
Ramble fan.
It's dry. David McGoldrick, 14 caps.
Who is
Republic
Sheffield
of
United?
Ireland.
Let's repeat the question. Who is Sheffield United's most capped England player with 16?
England player, right. Come on.
Come on, Bry.
Come on, Bry. Don't read this name, but just another congrats there. Who's next, Paul?
Congratulations on 5K, lads. That's from Mitch. Thank you very much, Mitch. It's definitely Jimmy.
Clarkey. Good evening, fellas. Congrats, Jimmy. See you tomorrow.
You will, pal. You will indeed.
7:45 kickoff, so Clarkey will be there about 12:15 in the afternoon.
He will. Sheila's Wheels says, congratulations, Jimmy, and to all subscribers for getting the magic number. Thank you, Sheila. I'll take the reins, lads.
Absolutely seamless, isn't it? I'm waiting for Dave to say something.
Yes, congratulations, Jimmy, on 5K, says Ray. Don't think I'm wrong on Brian Dean. Think I'm wrong on Brian Dean, he says. Congratulations, Jimmy, says Mark. Top, honest bloke, and no, but a pleasure to deal with. Up the blades. Oh, thank you, pal. It'd be nice if somebody else had read that for me, really, but you can't rely on your mates, can you? Congratulations to everyone involved. Up the blades, up the ramble, says Rob. Thank you, pal. Well done, Jimmy. Great work on an amazing channel. Like and subscribe, says Jason. Thank you, pal. Very much appreciated. Kelly says, congratulations to subscribers. Well done. You deserve it. Thank you. Very much appreciated. David Oxley says, congratulations to the Ramble. Absolutely fantastic. Well deserved, lads. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Brand says, congrats, Jimmy and the team. Hopefully a win tomorrow to top it off. You'll probably get to 6K before this takeover's complete. Maybe so.
Is this you telling us off for not being quick enough, Jim? Is this you showing us how it's done?
I would never tell you off, mate. I would never tell you off.
Passive aggressive here, going, all right, I'll do these then.
Were it that obvious?
From Josh then. Yeah, it was obvious. You're getting mad with us. Right, as a blade down in London who doesn't know any other blades, it's content like yours that keeps me connected to the club and other blades. Thanks for all the effort. And I have to echo that as well. I have to echo the sense of community for people who do travel a little bit, and I do travel not as far as London, obviously, but just to go to the bar, go to the pub and meet a few familiar faces is just like massively added to my days coming down to Bramall Lane, because it's great because I go with my boy, but it's a massive plus meeting up with everybody, going to the fan park together, catching up on here. I just feel like I've made like 20 new mates and even more, I suppose, but it's just brilliant, really. I think that's the best part of it for me.
100%, completely agree. I always say it, and I think people. I don't think people think this, but I'm always conscious that they might think I'm just saying it because it's something that you'd probably say to be nice. The community that we've built here, and it includes everybody that comments. It's not just those that are in the Ramble chat. It's everybody it's the environment that we've fostered where people are comfortable coming on and giving their honest opinion. Because the only thing we ask is that you're respectful of whoever you're talking about, really. It doesn't have to be that you agree with me or you might not like a certain player. Just don't be an idiot about it. That's all. And then you can say whatever you want. I love that people are confident to come on and more comfortable. We're getting more ramblers that are coming on, call-ins and stuff like that. And you can see the confidence building with each call. It's absolutely brilliant. And that has been the best. Like you said, we've brought a load of people to get organically. That's not like been a marketing plan or anything. You're giving me way too much credit if you thought that. It's literally been an organic growth of a community, and it's the best thing about it. 100%.
I remember the start of the WhatsApp group because I was on holiday with the family, and it was the time when the rumours about Illiman leaving was all swirling around. So you spend a lot of time sort of looking for, whatever news you can find, and that's how I first came about the Ramble. And subscribed, and you got the YouTube subscription. So paid for that, and then it was somebody commented on the thing saying you should set a WhatsApp group up, and I think it was done that night, and it's grown from sort of like 10 people in it or something, and just got bigger and bigger. And then it was let's all meet up. We're in Triple Point before the game. Oh, we are as well. And then suddenly it's become like a.
I do remember the first time though, and it is like I can understand why it's quite nerve-wracking, even with a couple of pints in you, to bowl up to a bunch of people that you kind of know but you don't really know, and you're sort of thinking, oh, what's it going to be if I come over and say hello. And we've had that a few times now where people have stopped us and gone, oh, I've seen you on the thing, and that is absolutely brilliant, and it's lovely. It's really, really nice thing to happen. But when it's that first time in it, I think busting the seal, when you sort of come over and sort of say hello, and all of a sudden you got like 8 or 10 people talking to you. Oh, yeah, I recognise you. Oh, maybe you commented on that, and
yeah, absolutely. No judgment. Everybody's welcomed in. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And as much as it might surprise a few of you, and it may not surprise others, because some of you will know me quite well by now, I can be a bit socially awkward at times. And it's not, even though due to the channel, I'm recognised a little bit now when I go into Triple Point, for example, or whatever. It's not always natural for me to be, hey, oh, you're right, blah, blah, blah. And so I think they expect me to be quite outgoing, and I don't want to disappoint anybody and be too reserved, but what I'm trying to get at is it can be nerve-wracking for everybody to a certain. My dad didn't know how to react at first when people start, Andy the Blade, and he was like, no, and now he bloody swaggers in. And
yes, he's got his own theme music. Your dad is like,
gets through the crowd, everybody pushes past me, knocks me over, bloody straight to Andy the Blade. I don't blame him, to be fair. He's the MVP of the channel, I have to say. So. Thank you, lads. I appreciate your kind words. We will get some more, because I'm conscious I don't want to get too far behind on comments, because I have got a couple of bits I want to get to.
Well, next
Bruce,
you.
Yeah, Beast Boy. Bruce the Goal will be the top of this amazing start to the week, onwards and upwards. I'm not sure I share the same confidence, but
Paul, your turn.
What a man, what a view.
That's getting clipped.
Yeah. Scott says, congratulations, Jimbo. Fantastic work. Keep up the amazing work, pal. Up the Blaze, up the Ramble.
Bryce, S20 Blade, congratulations on the 5K. Fantastic, Jimmy. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe with beer.
With beer, indeed. Dom says, well done, Blades and Bladeettes. Congratulations, Jimmy. Up the Ramble.
Rich says 1 point. I'll go past that.
Robert Kerr, love the channel. Long may it grow. All the best, Jimmy. King of the Ramble, indeed. Needs a crown. Needs a crown. I've nicked it.
Robert Kerr, little fun fact for everybody. I've mentioned this a few times. First ever Rambler, Robert Kerr, and has stayed with us throughout. Not a break or anything. And that's so everybody's circumstances are different. So I don't expect people to sign up, or it doesn't make you, a particular level. I'm just very appreciative of the support anybody can give, whether it's a like on the video or a subscribe. But Robert Kerr has been there from the very start. So thank you, Rob. You will always be our first, pal.
Play, Rob.
Dave, I think it's on you.
Yeah, apparently I'm getting grief. This sounds standard, getting grief from you two, as well as in my household. I hope Mrs. L's not watching upstairs because she'll be coming down now and saying, "What you been saying about me again?"
Yeah.
She's the boss.
She's lovely.
She's the boss.
Hello, the crime scene cleaners.
Ernest Needham. It doesn't even look like it's spelt right on the answer that you've given there. Ernest with an EA. Is that right? I'm not sure. I think they've made it up, to be honest.
Mate, it's Sheffield United, mate. Somebody somewhere is printing them off. And
Who's going to admit first that they've never heard of him? I will. Go on, Dave.
So Neil says, evening to you, gents. Congrats on the 5K. We should get 6 points this week. And let's see if Burrows plays better with Jackie long throw, having 2 left footers down the left, up the ramble. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? That was mentioned, wasn't it, the other day about having the... I could never decide whether we got a bit obsessed with it. Do you know what I mean? Or we couldn't possibly play a right-footed centre-half at left centre.
I think we overthink things sometimes.
Yeah, I know, but it's a fair point, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see if that does free him up a little bit, because certainly Jackie's not going anywhere, is he? He's not marauding anywhere, so maybe that's different with Ahmed Hodzic, because he does do that, doesn't he? He does carry the ball forward more, so maybe.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yes, good point, this. Happy birthday to Mr. V, one of the most generous ramblers out there, all the way on the other side of the world. Superstar legend, Mr. V. Happy birthday.
Top man, Mr. V. Gifted 150. Oh, what, 50? No, gifted 50 Ramblers memberships on not last stream, one before maybe. Unbelievable generosity, pal. Thank you.
Top man.
Good shout, Ian.
So Ray says, who was the manager who got a World Cup medal? His name I can't remember. 1966.
Jesus, good question, Ray.
A Blades manager.
Who was the manager who got a World Cup medal?
I'm not very, unless it's Formula One. I'm not very good on stats and.
That's if nobody can answer it here, that's one for Tim's quiz. Tim's got a separate group, a spin-off from our WhatsApp team where he does a quiz once or twice a week. So yeah, James Tosland famously went to the same school as the Tufty Club lads. So I didn't know that. Interesting. Needham, says Jeff. Yeah, bang on. Well said, Jeff. I'll go back to you then, lads.
Okay. Congratulations on the 5K and rising 10K by Christmas. Yeah, maybe next year. What do you all think now with the lack of team depth? Are you all confident we are still going up? Hope so. Up the Ramble. Well, Matthew, I'll start us off with that, because I think the proof will be in the next 5 games, won't it? Because if we were going to have some injuries, if we were going to have players dropping out, important players, obviously Blaster being the biggest and the most certain of all of those, the squad will be tested. And yes, it may expose a few things that may need to be plugged in January. I was listening to Wilder earlier talk about two loans that we still think we're going to use, and a possible free, which probably means there might be a free agent still floating around out there that might interest him, who may provide some valuable cover. And he named a few of the lads that we've had in the previous seasons, Hogan and, oh God, what's his name? The forward we had from
Washing Machine.
Yeah, Washing Machine, big Gary Medine, indeed. And yeah, so these lads always come in and don't necessarily come in and command a starting spot, but can be thrown on with 15 minutes to go, Warnock style, and grab us an equaliser or a late winner. And they can be the points that are the difference. If I remember, Hogan scored an important goal, didn't he, in a game? He'd done nothing. He'd done nothing, but then he did, and then he scored in that one game. And I think
he did. Tapping, weren't it? Tapping, yeah. But I can't remember who we were against, to be honest. But Dave, any thoughts on that, mate?
I think I've said all along, for me, it's about us keeping in the mix until post Christmas, and I think it's after then when it will really start to see how well we're going to do. We just need to pick up as many points as we can do. If we lose a few, not get too panicked about it. And then see where we're at in January. But I'm confident we'll be in the mix. I think it's very difficult to say, aside from, I hate saying it, but you've probably got to say Leeds will more than likely be in the top 2. I think it's very difficult, other than that at the moment, to say who's definitely going to be the one. There's going to be some twists and turns as the season progresses. But I think we'll be in the
that's
mix.
very fair. Very fair.
I watched some of the Leeds game, and I know Swansea are quite a decent possession-based side, but there's flaws in that team, mate.
Yeah, there are 100%. There are.
There is in every team, isn't there? You know, we've got it in ours, and
yeah.
But I think you'd expect with the players who've got the budget they've got that they should be winning the league.
I think they've dropped on with Tanaka. He looks a real player, doesn't he? So
I'm not saying they
I'm just
will.
going
I'm
to jump
saying
into some thank yous, lads.
Well, they've not got as many points as us so far, have they? So let's remember that.
No, they haven't.
Very true. Very true. But they have beaten us, mate, quite comprehensively.
Any given Sunday, mate.
Let's not dwell on that. So I'm going to jump into some thank yous. I think, sorry, I don't know if my stream's slow. Probably is. But I feel it's right that I thank people who've helped us get to this milestone. And I may miss some names. So I apologise if that is the case, because everybody that's helped me out knows how grateful I am, or should do, hopefully. I think the first place to start is John Asquith from Action Coach Sheffield, who has supported the channel for a long, long time now. Not just benefiting the channel and helping us grow in terms of the investment that he puts into the channel, but also the support he gives me in terms of business advice. He doesn't have to do this. And I think I've dropped lucky that he's a big blade. So I've probably got a bit of a soft spot there, and he wants to see, fellow blades do well. But John is, and I cannot recommend Action Coach enough. I know Dave's come to a session with me. I think, are you there on Wednesday, Dave?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, so I've got a masterclass on Wednesday. Absolutely fantastic service that he provides, but moreover, a close friend now, and I thank John for his continued support. John also sourced me the VMB Auto Centres sponsorship deal, which Aaron has continued due to the success of that deal. So thank you, Aaron, for your continued support, and long may that working relationship continue. I really appreciate that. Triple Point also support the Ramble with their sponsorship of our match previews. So the warm-up, thank you to Triple Point. That's very much appreciated. That's become a real hub for the Ramblers, somewhere where we all meet pre-match now, the majority of games where we can, and those that aren't able to make it are with us in spirit. So it's been great. I think for a name that people will recognise, In Good Nick, it definitely needs a mention. He has, particularly in the early days, but throughout, to be honest, he has been a huge supporter of me. He got me onto his channel. I think I had less than 100 subscribers, and he had me on his channel to try and help boost my profile. He's given me hints and tips along the way. He's been on the channel himself. Thank you to Nick. It's really appreciated, pal, that the continued support. And maybe that, I don't know if that'll squash any of the rumours about an ongoing feud or channel rivalry, but it should, because there's no rivalry here. We sometimes have to go up against each other. We try to avoid that where we can in terms of being on at the same time. But for me, I've always said, if you can like both. You don't have to be one or the other. You can be a fan of the Ramble and the Sheffield United way. And that got said in our chat group last night, and it's absolutely right. I want to thank Michael J. Needham. It's not a name that many people may know, but he's a long-time Rambler who, again, is another very generous guy who's offered me support in the past. And he actually gifted the Ramble our first camera, which was a very expensive camera, brand new, that he just sent to me because he wanted to help me increase the quality of the streams. Unbelievable generosity from Michael Needham. Thank you, pal. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to meet up with you soon. Paul Nicholson from PN UK. Thank you, pal, for all your support and advice. Paul works hard at boosting and helping people in their YouTube journeys, and he's certainly been a huge help to me. I really appreciate that. The Ramblers are a huge part. Well, they are the cornerstone of our success, if I'm being honest. I touched on it earlier. The lads know exactly what I'm talking about. The community we've built, I won't dwell on it too much because I cannot celebrate it enough and thank everybody for not just their support, but being there for each other and creating an environment. There's been times when I've been quite low and times when I've not really been sure about what direction we're going in, and they always give me honest but cushioned feedback, very supportive. Special mention to Ian, the gatekeeper, who makes sure that our group isn't infiltrated with anybody that shouldn't be there, or tries to keep people in line with their behaviour in the group and does a fantastic job of it. He's also a moderator in our comments. Also a shout out to Nick Cook, who is one of the most generous blokes I've ever met. In fact, I've not met him face to face, but he is forever super chatting this channel, and I cannot thank you enough for your contributions, mate, and very much appreciated. Craig Miss Kelly sends me random Sheffield United memorabilia and merchandise to be featured on the Ramble and just to improve the studio. Really appreciate that generosity. Thailand Tim Vaughan Spencer, who spent a long time trying to get this website up and running with me. We're not quite there yet, but I'm sure we will do. Thank you to everybody involved with the Ramble from a supporting stance. Controversially, he won't like me doing this, but I want to thank Prince Abdullah as well. Prince Abdullah has been a huge support to me personally throughout the time with the Ramble. I make no secret of the fact that I have a good relationship with Prince Abdullah. I try to be objective, but I don't want to try and pull the wool over anybody's eyes and make you believe that I can always not be unconsciously biased, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I want to thank Prince Abdullah for all the support and well wishes he's given to both myself and the channel. I want to thank you two boys specifically because I don't often get a little bit speechless, but it's hard to sort of say this to you without. I've said it to you in our little group and stuff like that, but without your encouragement and support and reassurance, I don't really know what direction we'd be in. You've both offered to take on, at my request, it has to say. It's not like you're trying to nudge your way in or anything, but you want to be more involved and you're happy to support us, and there may be significant involvement coming in the future, but it's more for us always looking out for each other for genuine reasons and trying to encourage each other to, you know, Paul comes on screen and he's fairly confident, but everybody has sort of doubts and things like that, and it's not. It don't mean he doesn't need any sort of reassurance that he's doing a great job. So in the early days, I think it was just a case of brilliant, mate, absolutely brilliant. Come on, just get your reps in, make sure you're comfortable. Dave, I know you were a little bit unsure as to how you would come across and how you'd feel on screen. I think it's been the chemistry between the three of us is something I'm over the moon about, if I'm honest, because I think it works so well, not just on screen, but off screen as well. We're all very good mates now, and I just appreciate you. So don't comment yet because I'm not quite finished, but I will give you a chance. I'm nearly done, I promise, but I need to get through these because it's important to me. I want to thank my family. I want to thank Eki Out Sal, Layman Dave, who's not seen very often, but and yeah, I am calling you Layman Dave on screen. Special shout out to the channel MVP, Andy the Blade. They are the most, as well as this, because this is up there with my most fun that I have when I'm with you two boys. But I have to say, I do not have the belly laughs that I have with my dad on screen is absolutely unreal because he's no filter. I'm contemplating never having him on live again because I cannot control what he says. He's ridiculous, but he's great, and that is him. There is no character there. There is no, you know, like all of us, and I think that's been a big part of the success of the channel as well, really. We just come on and we're ourselves, aren't we? So I love that. Thank you, Dad, for everything you've done. And a special thing that people might not know, Andy the Blade sourced me my first microphone for the channel as well, which I actually broke when I was moving into the studio, so apologies. But yeah, thank you, Dad, for your continued support with everything that you do. I want to thank my mum, who I miss every day. And I want to thank Mrs. Ramble. Mrs. Ramble, the tower of strength behind the channel, and my girls who put up with so much rubbish from me. I'm always on my phone, messing about, doing a thumbnail or doing something. And they are the best, most supportive family I could possibly ask for. So, yes, thank you to everybody. I'm sorry that took so long, but it's important. And I'm sorry if I've missed anybody out. I'm sure I have. But I need to let people know that this is a team effort. As I say, you might see me on screen the majority of the time, and there's no like social media team or anything. I don't have that luxury, unfortunately, at the moment. But in terms of moral support and sort of geeing me up and keeping me going, all these people play a huge part in it. So thank you to everybody. I have got a little bit of a montage to play. I don't know whether you lads want to jump in with anything. It sounds like I'm pilfering, but I don't mean that. I just don't want to sort of cut over. if you know what I mean.
Can I say a few things? I just wanted to say, thank God you thanked Mrs. Ramble and she got her kitchen back in the end. That's
I know, mate. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not going to miss her out, is he? Oh God, yeah. But
No, save it till last. Got to be done.
So I have to say that obviously from the first time that I watched you on here, and when I went up to you in Triple Point, and I don't know, it was odd. It was a strange because you were sat in one of the booths opposite the bar. You were there, and I recognised your dad obviously straight away, and I remember just tapping you on the shoulder, and you were like, "Oh, hello, mate," and like as if you should have recognised me. I think I'd been on a round table by then, and I said, "Oh, it's." And I said my name to you. You went, "Oh, I know. I don't know if you remember." And then we stood there and had a chat, and I just remember that really vividly because I wasn't sure. And again, how many ramblers must feel when they come, if they were going to come down and meet us before for a beer. I was actually a little bit like, "Oh, is he a bit busy? He's obviously there. We're chatting to people and stuff like that." And like I think Dave's mentioned it before, and I'm not going to steal anything from Dave either, but just like how easy it is for now, just you walk in, and I'm not going to say it's like Cheers. I'm not going to be that corny, but when you walk in, you can see, and someone catches you, and they're like, "Hey," and they wave at you before you even got there now. And I just think that's just great. And my lad and Dave's lad, they're like best pals within 5 seconds because they're good people. Do you know what I mean? They're good kids. The good people that are there. Come here, come and sit down. Come and have a sit down here and whatever. And nothing's too much. And it's almost like I just feel really lucky that this has dropped in the way it has for me, my son, and for everybody who's part of it. Because, like we said, it is a really supportive thing. And yeah, there are the odd bit that comes on, and we have to have our little therapy session and talk things through a little bit. But actually, it's just been a real pleasure, and I always look forward to it. I always look forward to coming on and seeing everybody and listening to the comments and talking to people. So it's really been really good for my mental health too, and I'll put that out there. So
thank you, mate.
Yeah. Well, okay. This last 12 months and the involvement has changed me and changed a lot of my life more than I thought it would ever do when I started. That first round table and thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I want to put myself on YouTube." And I remember saying that to you, Jimmy, and you being, "No, you'll be fine." And getting over those nerves, and then speaking to you about the podcast that I used to be involved with, and I was thinking about doing that, and the encouragement that I got to go for that, and the feedback that I got from it. I remember that first time meeting. It's the same day that Paul's talking about. I've been stood at the bar seeing you, and again, I'm not always the most. Sometimes be awkward and not feel like I want to go up and speak to people. And I ummed and ahed whether I was going to. I've got Aaron with me and did. How you, Heck Out, Sal, and your dad brought Aaron and I into it. I'll forever appreciate that. Particularly because Aaron's a bit like me, and he doesn't always want to go and speak to people, but how he was made to feel welcome. And he asked questions, and how his opinions were valued. It was amazing. And I just think back, and this will sound it'll sound like a bit of a brag, and it's genuinely not. But that I've gone from a year ago thinking, I don't know if I want to be on screen, to last week being on national radio, and sort of, do I want to do it? And me sort of thinking, just do it. And I had to have a word with myself, because at first I was like, I don't know if I want. Now it's like, just do it. And I did, and I enjoyed it. And it's something that if nothing else ever happens again, that I'll have a fond memory. But it's made me kind of, have this thing of just going, you know what, I'll have a go. And I've tried to, like you did with me, try to pass that on to other people who message on the group and maybe are a bit, and there's still people who've said it recently and have not been on and they're like, oh no, I can't do it. Or maybe one day. And just sort of saying, once you've done the first one, you're all right, and you'll start to build on it and start to enjoy it. But yeah, and last season the community and going and meeting people before the game was what I looked forward to, because I didn't want to go and watch us play because we were that bad. But so cutting it short, because I've rambled on there, which is probably not like me. I'm normally quite to the point, but thank you both of you, because again, there's things that happen in private life away from Sheffield United and the Ramble, and you two are always there to sort of go, no, you're all right, or go for it, and be, you're there as support, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you, lads. Thank you. And apologies to anybody if that were a little bit. It feels a little bit self-indulgent from me, that, and I apologise for that. But I'm very proud of where we've all come, because I feel like it has been a genuine team effort. So I'm going to play a little bit of a montage now, a little bit of a quick vid that I put together. Just shows you a quick highlight of some of the laughs we've had on the Ramble, I suppose. So hope you enjoy this.
What's happening, Blade? So I've been threatening to do this for ages, and it's here now. So hope you like it. It's a new Blades channel. What's happening, Blades?
I'm going to strive to get better with every video in terms of the quality. What's happening, Blades? What's happening, Blades? What's happening, Blades?
What's your team?
The canoe to 200. Climb the tree to 300. Knock on the door to 400. The dive into 500. It has been a monumental day for this channel. Welcome in Darren Smith. Sing good, Nick. Hey! Nick. Rob Statten is the pioneer of Sheffield United fan channels, and I'm going to get all into it with him, because the man that started it all, Johnny from Shore and View. Welcome, pal. How are you doing?
How do?
Benjamin Bloom, Prince Abdullah. Welcome to the Blades Ramble. Thank you for coming on. What can make us more attractive, do you think?
Not me and you. No, just kidding.
Wow. But this is a little bit extra special for me. I have been trying my best to get this man on since I started, really. This is the man that sort of molded my opinions on football and sort of shaped me in how I view things. So without any further ado, welcome to the Ramble, Andy the Blade.
I can't believe it. You're going to be setting me up here. I'm not.
You know I value your opinion. We talk about Blades all the time.
I know you value my opinion, because you nick all my opinions and promote Blades Ramble. McBurney has been the bane of my life since he's arrived at Sheffield United. And he'll say, oh, yeah, but he's good at defensive headers. Oh, yeah, great stuff. Oh, yeah, and he links in play quite well sometimes. He's 20-odd million centre forward. Shelby McBurney jogs around in them bloody coloured boots.
What about the biggest loss, though? Max Lowe.
Max Lowe. What a joke that was. Oh, bloody hell. Wednesday thought they nicked him from us. Oh, we don't know who's going to play, Max Lowe or Mark Johnson. Bloody hell. Play me if you want.
Harmer. Burrows! Get it! Yeah! We are back. We now have a name. We are the three Mardy Blades. Paul Man Mountain and Dave Leary. How's it going, boys?
Hello, how are you doing?
All right.
I'll play on, lads. I'll play on. Don't worry, I'm fine. It's your bet. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
I'm all right.
Dave.
Hang on.
Oh,
I forgot.
Reveal.
I don't know. Is it a bit?
Oh my god.
Yes! Yes! The first official Mountainite.
I'm the sex machine with the ball at my feet. I'm going to do it. And he just didn't do it. And he just
That's getting clipped.
I'm the sex machine with the ball at my feet. I'm the sex machine with the ball at my feet. I'm the sex machine with the ball at my feet.
Oh, God, right. Right. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards.
Up the blades!
Hey!
I'm the sex machine with the ball at my feet.
How good was that? How good was that?
Oh, mate. I don't know. It's sad. So many more greys. The first thing you do is go, bloody hell, got the state of me there. How much better does your dad look with a tash, by the way? He's rocking it.
I don't know.
Mate, I'm in team tash. Serious. He looks the business nowadays. He really does.
he'll revel in that. You two, the blossoming romance. Double celebration 5K Man Mountain's 50th birthday last week, according to you. I didn't say that. I never said that. Never said that. He's not a day over 25, and I'll not hear anything else. Jack says, I also echo the sentiment of community offered by this platform. I live in Sheffield. I just have no mates. We have now, Jack. Don't you worry about that, pal.
Yes, no.
You don't need mates to enjoy your football. You can join us. No problem at all. Lee, Ernest Needham is the most capped. Well said, pal. You're absolutely right. Claire says, congratulations, Jimmy. A very proud achievement. Hopefully I'll see you at Bramall Lane in March. Claire's a Coventry fan. You certainly will, Claire. And I thank you for your continued support as well. And I don't hold you personally responsible for Norman Bassett's actions at the weekend. Been watching since the start, Jimbo, says Cole. Very well done, lads. You deserve it. Thank you, pal. I'm just going to breeze past a couple of the suggestions now that we know it's Ernest Needham. So apologies for any comments I skip over, but it's to avoid a bit of repetition, that's all. Walter says he preferred to meet up in Sportsman when it was open. I think I was about 3 when that shut, Walter, to be honest. So, yeah, no problem. Got an email today from Sent to You. Was that you, Dave?
Might launch something. That might be a new Oda Ramble.
Mate, we are missing out with the fragrances here. So let's have a look. Congrats, guys. Fantastic work. Thank you, Marty. Much appreciated, pal. Careful, Jimmy mixing beer soon. We'll start throwing his weight around. Oh, let's not talk about that. Martin Peters, 1966 player. Was that right? I don't know. That's one of the questions that were posed by Ray, I think. Yeah, okay. Phil says, great channel. Well done on 5K. Love the respectful community on here. Onwards to 10K. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it, pal. I think it all depends on the takeover. If it's done before January, if it is, then I reckon we'll go up. But if they don't take over, I personally think playoffs, just because the depth blaster is a huge miss. Completely agree with that. Completely agree. Aaron says, congrats on 5K. Is the rumour true that scouts are looking at Saudi talents? Not that I'm aware of, pal. Not that I'm aware of. Would any of you three let anyone from the squad go in January? A bit of wheeling and dealing.
Good question.
Ooh. Well, it depends, doesn't it? Because if we get a few good loans in, there's certainly some young men who could do some minutes that they're not going to get playing for us. So again, if we bring in a top striker and our current crop are fit, I wouldn't mind seeing Ryan Oney go down to a team in League One and see if he can knock some goals in for us if he's not going to get a run out.
I don't think there's anyone I'd sell. I've just done a quick thing through the squad of who would actually be worth any real value, and
we're.
I don't think we can afford to.
Are there any concern? I mean, I did the warm up yesterday. I wasn't necessarily expecting to be on, but obviously we've hit the target before Oxford. So, and this, we don't know whether Sousa, Campbell, Hamer are fit. We know that Anel's out. If that's the case, this is potentially the team for tomorrow. How concerned are you? Do you think that's good enough? I'm not saying Wilder will definitely play this team, but it's the sort of options we're left with. Worst case scenario, if those three are out. So what's your thoughts on that team?
I don't think it gets beat.
No, I think it's good enough. It's certainly good enough 11. It's just Tom Davies. I'm not sure if he's gonna start. I think he'll go for Shackleton ahead of him.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that. To be fair, that's right. I'd forgot about Shackleton, and somebody did mention that in comments when I didn't warm up. So you can interchange Davies for Shackleton.
You'd have expected him to bring Davies on, wouldn't you, on the weekend? Because he was on the bench, but he chose to bring Shackleton on. That's why I'm just thinking Shackleton's probably more trying to do in 60,
I think he would have done. I think if we weren't down to 10, I think Davies would have come on. I think I was with my nephew at the game, and he called it pretty much at half time. He said Shackleton will come on in this. It's just he could see with the amount of running that they were having to do in the middle of the park that it was more his time. I think Vinny will be. I think he'll be all right. I don't think we'll get 90 minutes out of him. But I don't think he's injured. I think he was just cramped up.
Yeah,
and that's
he was cramped up. He was cramped up something because Andy had something to say about that.
We're definitely trying to loosen something off, weren't
he? He was cheering himself up, perhaps.
He was rubbing himself loose, wasn't he? That's what he was doing.
Oh, boys, I'm moving on. Jimmy, you forgot to thank Sky, says David. Don't talk to me about them. I'm falling out. Good evening to the three wise men. Congrats on reaching 5K, says Nath. All the blades, all the ramble, like and subscribe. You know Nath, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy. Should get him on sometime.
Great guy. You sound like Donald Trump.
I don't sound like Donald Trump.
Jimmy, make me a mod so I can boot this. There was somebody messing about in the chat, so don't worry. I've sorted it out. Great to see how far you've come, Jimmy, since the first video filmed using the famous toaster. Keep it up, pal. Thank you. Oh, dear me. Matthew's another one, like Paul was saying. Going to say, I see you so many times, but bottle talking to you all. You're more than welcome,
pal. Come and say hello.
Absolutely right. You're more than welcome. I can feel the man love from my sofa. Bravo, lads. Keeping it up, says Danny. Feeling the love, says Chris. Well, that's how we are, isn't it? Very well said, Dave and Paul. I think that relates to a lot of us. That's why this group is so strong, says Nige. Like one big family at Triple Point. Always look forward to match days and seeing everyone, says Dry Bry. Always a pleasure to jump on the Ramble and have a chat. Lastly, congrats to John on their new arrival yesterday. Absolutely right. Olivia Grace Weston, welcome to the world. And I've done well if I've remembered that right. So congratulations,
Mrs. Weston. Sean stood there and looked pretty. Mrs. Weston, yeah.
All right, yeah. All right. Congratulations to the family. Yeah, Shawnee, top rambler and a really good lad. He always makes one in at Triple Point. He overpays for merchandise, but that's another story. So we can get into that another day. Congrats, Jimmy. I got you a couple of subs Friday who don't really use YouTube. Thank you. They all help. Thank you, pal. It ain't cheating. It's for the cause. Up the Ramble. Yeah, it's not cheating. We'll take it. Oh, dearie me. There's some more dodgy comments, to be fair. Brilliant from Prince Abdullah saying that, yeah, very, very good. I had to put that clip in, to be fair. Congratulations to you, Jimmy, and your dad, all the Mardy blades. I lost my brother around this time last year. And to have someone to message and vent and voice my opinion is therapy for me. Chris, thinking about you, pal. Hope you're okay. Yeah, we are genuinely a community that's here for anybody that's struggling. We had a loss in the group last night, I think it was. We're always here. Don't have to if you don't feel comfortable, but we are here to talk to if you want. Always an ear for you, pal. And yeah, if you need anything, give us a shout. Liam says, "Well done, Jimmy. Love the channel. Keeps me connected, even though I live 100 miles away from Sheffield." Thank you, pal. Fantastic achievement on 5K, lads. Up the Ramble, says Bry. Many congratulations, Jimmy, says Pixie's channel 3-0 tomorrow. Have you found the Wi-Fi thief yet? No, I'm looking for him, though. I'm looking for him. You can't have the nose and Trump together as nicknames for Larry. We'll stick with Dave the Nose.
I'd take the nose all day, mate, all day.
Yeah.
Well done, all three of you. Great channel, Up the Blades. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate it, pal. Pixie, thank you for becoming a Rambler, pal. Very much appreciated. You now be able to join our WhatsApp group. If you look on our private community page, you'll see it there. And Stephen says, congratulations, Up the Blades. Like and subscribe. Pixie says, your first ever channel that I've ever joined, pal. Keep it going, lad. Thank you, mate. Well, you're more than welcome. Hope you enjoy it, and you'll be more than welcome into the community like we've been talking about. So, I've reached the end of the comments, lads. I've reached the end. Dave, did you say you wanted to, you had a question to pose to us, didn't you, at some stage?
I was going to ask you both, what's been your favourite moment of the Ramble so far? Oh. That might be an easier one for Paul and I to talk about the new Jimmy, because you've got a few more than us.
It's just my memory's rubbish. I can't honestly pick out one moment. I don't know. I'll let you go first, lads.
Oh, God, I can't.
Have you got one then, Dave, to start us off?
Well, go on, Dave. What are you saying?
I think you showed it in that clip, just for absolutely laughing my head off. I thought I was going to fall off my chair. Was the German goalkeeper in our was that hardest? Was it the hardest 11? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think many will have seen that, because
you didn't put those out.
No, those were the members only. 3 Mardy Blades, and to be fair, this is 3 Mardy Blades is a part of the Patreon offer, so we're only doing this as a special. And I know we've done a couple of specials now where it goes out to everybody, but those sort of moments, and that was gold, to be fair. But that was just, I don't think many will have seen it. But Paul, you were brilliant, mate, in that. Absolutely unreal. You had us in stitches. So yeah, that was very good. Very good shout. I did also from the archives that I think got deleted from the final edit was your budget blades, Dave, when you named a certain striker who's been done for indiscretions. I'm not going to go any further than that.
Yeah, I can't believe you've said him. Why?
Because he's been arrested. Google it. Oh dear me! Yeah,
Jimmy, that ship has sailed, mate. That ship has sailed.
It got cut from the final edit. So we'll have to take that one as a secret. But it's yeah, very good, very funny. Go on, Paul. Have you got one, pal? I know he's put you on the spot there.
I know you've nicked it all. All the rest has just been, no, I'm just showing. I don't know. Oh gosh, I
have to say, one of my favourite moments was my dad going off on McBurney live on stream, because it was unprovoked completely, and I could see the touch paper being lit from him. He started himself off, and then I couldn't stop him. And at one stage, to be honest, I could have played more of that, because he goes, hang on, I haven't finished yet. Have you seen his finishing? Can he finish? It trickles more than anything else. It goes into a massive long rant about it. It's on the January transfer window live stream that we did on deadline day when I'm Jimmy White with my yellow tie. But he absolutely,
I remember having a good
laugh with Tim.
Do you remember we had a good laugh with Tim, didn't we, when we were doing the round table? It was easy.
Tim with his beard, his big Santa beard. We're privileged, ladies and gentlemen. Santa's joining us on the stream.
Oh mate, it was good laugh that. And mate, he was always wasted when he comes on. He's funny, isn't he? Can't remember his name.
We should definitely do a Christmas Ramblers, like for Patreons, and do another roundtable special where we get everybody on. It's a bit chaotic, but it's really funny. So we'll look at doing something like that. Congratulations, says Stephen. Love the show. Up the Blades, like and subscribe. Blades Ramble will soon have more viewers than Coronation Street, says Mark. Question for the three of you: do the double over Wednesday and stay in the Championship, or lose at Hillsborough and go up?
Mate, all day for the sake of the club. And yes, I've been critical of if we go up and do the same thing again.
I agree.
But for the good of just being able to develop the club, we've got to go to the Premier League. They're not a big deal. They're not even a rival as far as I'm concerned. They're nowhere near us at the minute. So to me, they could have the day in the sun if we can go up and get ourselves established in the Prem.
Great question, Nath. Dave, you're nodding along. I assume you're in a similar boat.
Nothing to add to that. Totally agree.
The only thing I will say, I agree. By the way, I think that's 3 that would like prioritize promotion over anything really. But the one thing I will say is I don't think it's as desperate this time to go up as it has been in the past. So if it's not going to be a total disaster, obviously we want to go up. That is the aim. I know a lot of us might not enjoy the Premier League, but we have to for the betterment of the club. But it's not a complete reset for the club if we don't go up. We are starting to build really well. So Burrows, yes, get in, says Dom. That might have been one of your highlights, pal. It's never the end. Come on, lads. What's your best moment of the season so far? I've got to say that that Bristol City goal from Burrows, just the feeling of a last-minute winner. And we've had great moments throughout the season, but a last-minute winner, I don't think you can get much better than that. When you think it's done, what we're in 96 minutes or something like that. So far in terms of pure joy, I think that will probably be my standout moment so far.
I think Luke. What was the one where we played really, really well from start to finish? The home game I went to, they were brilliant.
Blackburn.
Yeah, they were good at Blackburn, weren't they? We absolutely bossed Luton, didn't we? As well, absolutely. We
bossed Stoke as well.
Stoke, yeah. There's been some really good performances because we were a bit like early doors. We were putting together like a good half an hour, like we did at Preston, and a good bit of this and that. But we've had a few really polished performances, and like Wilder said earlier, he just thinks we're going to get better because we're still a relatively fresh group of people, and I mean group of players. I think there was some criticism about set pieces, and I don't see us as inventive as we have been in the past. And Alan Neil took a lot of credit for that when we were doing some really, really clever set pieces, and you could tell. But I think there's things to work on, as there always will be. But I think we're just going to be getting better and better now. I just see us. We've made a brilliant platform with the back five, and as long as that back five continues to do a good job the way that they have, we're in every single match. We're never going to get blown away by any team.
That's true.
Don't clip that at any point either. But I just think we're in every match, and we've got the talent at the top that is always going to nick us a goal. So I'm really still very, very hopeful.
Nice one.
I'm gonna say the Stoke game. I think it was for the emotion going into it, the emotion during it.
God, yeah.
It was a really tough time for us and the players, and we produced a fantastic performance, fitting performance, and I think everybody in the ground or watching or whoever who's connected with the club would have gone away from that game feeling proud, and it might have been a bit of a lift. A really tough time, so I'm going to say that one. Great shout,
and yeah,
the other
very emotional
this season, lads, is also when we score a goal, we can run off and we can all let ourselves enjoy a goal. Like, what is football about? It's about scoring a goal,
exactly right,
and celebrating that goal in that moment and the feeling you get from the goal that you score. How many times in the Premier League you just see them looking at each other thinking, "Does this count?"
I know. It's balmy, like a two-wave celebration, isn't it? That's mooted both times.
What is footy about, mate? Footy's about scoring goals and the emotion when it happens. And the Premier League could not be getting it any more wrong, in my opinion. They never know when to celebrate. You look like an arse if you run off and celebrate and nobody, and then it gets chalked. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's just it's sucking the life out of it.
Key says, "I love Disco Dave. You should start with him." Disco Dave, I have to apologise because I forgot to play Disco Dave on the warm-up. So, no time like the present. See if you can work out which song this is to, if you know what I mean, which song the tune's from. This is Disco Dave.
Bright lights, flashing lights, dancing feet in neon tights. Mirror ball, don't behave, everybody shout out. Disco Dave. Disco Dave.
Jack is on the pad, 'tis like a missile for Baghdad. When Jack comes a-sliding through, wins the ball, the crowd go ooh. Another ref with defective sight, yellow card, that's not right. When he goes through you, wins a 50-50 ball, name's Jack Robo, and he's got a long throw. When he goes through you, wins a 50-50 ball, love Jack Robo, and he's got a long throw.
Disco Dave.
Any guesses?
Boys of Summer, Don Henley, boom.
Correct. Correct. Well done. When he goes through you. Nice one. Thank you, Disco Dave. Appreciate that. Right. Cheers, Danny. Congratulations, Jimmy says FX. Brian says, need to give a big Blades Ramble mention to my best mate, Gaz, who's been our mascot, Captain Blade, for the last quarter century. I was the guy for the first 2 years, but I had to stop due to getting a job. Shout out, big shout out to Gaz, Captain Blade. Yeah, what a great job you've done over the years, pal. Thank you for your service to the club. He actually went missing, didn't he, recently, and thankfully returned at the last home game, from what I remember. So I were hoping he weren't going to be replaced with a cat, but there were strong suspicions that he might be. So nice one that Gaz is back as Captain Blade. When Andy the Blade did his impression of McBurney running comedy gold, yeah, I remember that too. I watched it back again today too. Congratulations on 5K before Christmas, says Daz. All the hard work paid off. This channel keeps me up to date on news without the arguments and fake news of X. Looking real slick and professional now. Thanks, pal. We're fooling somebody. Love to hear that. Thank you. Gaz has recently had to stop being Blady at the grand old age of 70. Well, that's a well-earned rest then, isn't it? So shout out to Gaz. Well done, pal. And thanks for mentioning it, Bri. Will it be a small victory for us if we only lose 1-0 at the pigsty? That's in relation to earlier question. Like, I'm losing there all day if it means we get promoted. And I don't want to live through it, but that's the reality. If we don't go up, does that make the rebuild harder or the same? I think you have to say harder because you haven't got the resources, Jack. But, you know, it's
such a massive difference in funds, isn't it? It's huge.
Ultimately, we'll end up selling somebody, whether it's Ollie Arblaster or Gosema or Vinny Souza, and that will help fund a further sort of rebuild along the lines that we've had this summer, probably. Last thing I'll comment, because my supper is ready, says Key. Sariki is the most likely asset that's catching Premier League attention. Interesting. He has done very well this season when he's come on. That Burrows goal was outstanding. Like Jimmy, I was shouting my head off. It's going to go in so much the neighbours come round to check on me. We've had some good performances. I think it'll just take more time for the consistency to come. Leicester rejected my application. David, who recently applied for the manager's job at Leicester, sending in his football manager CV. And sorry to hear that, David, that you don't get a call back. Would you be happy if the Blades go up and come straight back down, says Neil, and yo-yo, or be a steady mid-table Prem club? The aim is always to stay in the league, obviously, but when you do come down, if you do it right, you can have a season like this, can't you, where you're the top end of the league. So I think there's pros and cons to both. I don't want to sort of leave you two out because I am trying to get through the comments, but what do you think, lads? What do you think to that? Would you rather be a Crystal Palace or would you rather be a Sheffield United, Leeds United?
I don't think it necessarily has to be, oh yeah, you're going to be Crystal Palace, you're going to be 15th for the next 10 seasons. But I just think in terms of growing the club, like it's come on an awful lot. We were speaking about it not that long ago about the ground and the facilities. There's still plenty to do there. They've just bought the training ground. If we want to go up and we want to be sustainable, competing with those top clubs, with that, we've had that big investment for year on year for an awful long time. We've got to go up and try and stay up and then try and develop, because I think we have always had a really, really good youth setup. And I think if we can go top tier in that aspect and attract more of them, you know, there's not many young players looking at the way that the players come through at Sheffield United and thinking, oh, that'd be a bad move for me. And rather than sitting on the bench forever or not getting a run in the first team, it's such a good, asset for the club, or such a good impression of the club to attracting that kind of talent, because we just keep nurturing young players into being really great players. I mean, Wolves couldn't thank us anymore for Morgan Gibbs-White. Yeah, he gave us a really good season, but crikey, he must have quadrupled his value coming to us, because he was never going to get anywhere near that until he came to Sheffield United. So I think there's a lot to look forward to, and I think if we get that part of the club where it needs to be in order to attract the top talent, I think we could be, it's a really exciting club to be part of.
Any thoughts, Davey boy?
I want us to become a steady. Well, the aim, I suppose, be steady mid-table as the next step. I guess I'd ask: would you rather have Ollie Arblaster play this season? I know he's injured, but play this season, play next season, and then go because we come straight back down again, or be able to have him for a longer and see him develop into the next stages of the player he's going to be. And he will keep these young players. We'll keep them when they're better. So we're going to get to better football because of that.
Well, the club,
every club's a selling club, aren't they? So we're not saying for 1 minute that if Ollie Arblaster becomes an England international, that he's going to stay at Sheffield United for his full career. But instead of losing him for 20 million, we might lose him for 60 million. That sort of thing. There's a big difference. So I agree, lads. I agree. FX says, thanks to the Mountain and the Nose for your contributions that have helped Jimmy get over the 5K line. Next stop 10K. Come on, you red and white wizards. Absolutely right. And thank you to you both again. I can't thank you enough, and we'll get onto that later. Behind the scenes, probably. We'll have a little cry and a cuddle. Due to old stadiums, you usually costing a lot more to run. If we become established in the Prem, would you redevelop the lane or build a new stadium like Everton and Tottenham? I'm a traditionalist, and I don't want to leave Ramble Lane ever. So I'm a bit stuck in my ways like that. I'm not saying we won't, and I don't like the whole thought of it getting renamed or anything like that. I want it to be Bramall Lane, and I want us to improve Bramall Lane as a stadium. But what do you think, lads? It may well come back similar to the discussion we've just had about being a Premier League club. It's not as exciting being a mid-table Prem club, but you have got better players. You do get the odd day where you'll beat Man United or you'll beat Arsenal. Whereas if you're a yo-yo club, you get the excitement of brilliant year, rubbish year, brilliant year, rubbish year. So it depends where you want to be. The sensible approach is probably a new ground if you're going to be in the Premier League for 10 years. But what are your thoughts on it, lads? Dave?
Redevelop. Not necessarily because I'm a traditionalist, but I think I guess if you're going to go all in, you're going to go for a bigger stadium. And we are beyond miles off ever needing a bigger stadium, I think. Even established in the Premier. Look at what's Bournemouth's capacity. It's got to be
11.5, I think. Yeah,
so,
we're not filling Bramall Lane yet, are we? So there's no need to expand.
No, I think we could make. I mean, you'd argue you'd probably have to knock the cop down to build that how you'd want it. I'd redevelop, and then you get the bonus of keeping the history. I think we've got. And it might be biased, but I think we've got the best club in the Championship. The best ground in the Championship. So we've obviously got the best club.
I agree on both points, Dave. I agree on both.
I think Bramall Lane always gets voted very, very favourably amongst away supporters partly because of where it is. So you can walk off the train, walk to a couple of good boozers. You got a cracking view at Bramall Lane for the away support down there. Right behind the goal, and it's a working class city. I think people are more welcoming. I think it's just. I know not always. I know there's always every club's got their idiots, but frankly, they rate the experience, and part of that is going to Bramall Lane. I think with the purchase of the area around the ground as well, it has that potential now. It's like selling an house with planning permission. It's like we've got all that space.
The option.
So if it does grow, I mean, I'm not being funny, but when Brighton were in the League 2, Division 2, whatever it was, they got about a third of the number of fans that they get now. When we were in League 1 and we were floundering, it wasn't that long ago, we were looking at 15. I've been there for 15,000 gates. I believe Sheffield United probably has potential to grow as a club, especially if we invest in that part of it. I'm not saying we're going to be filling 50,000, but I do believe there's still growth in the club. I think it's grown already. Even flat. I said to you, didn't I? The Sheffield United channel on YouTube, the official channel, when it started, it had like 50 or 60,000 people subscribed to it. Yeah, it's now got 251, and that went up exponential when we got to the Prem, because lots of people around the world, when we had that really good season, we probably became a lot of people's team. These underdogs doing really, really well. So I don't think it's necessarily like, oh yeah, we're never going to get more than 33,000 in Bramall Lane, because I think there is potential. But I think buying all that is a really big asset for the club, because like anyone who does want to grow it, the Cop does need redeveloping. It's an old side of the ground, and with the big car park as well, I think there's just loads of room for making big improvements.
Agreed. Love that about Sheffield United YouTube channel. Only going to get better, hopefully. Let's hope. Who do you reckon is the next young and very quickly, lads? Because we've been on a while now. I don't want people to get like tired of seeing us. Who do you reckon is the next young un to break through from the youth team? Says Daz. One name.
One for Bry, that.
I know Bry is the youth expert of the Ramble, but
Femi Sariki. I don't think he's officially broke through yet, has he?
Yeah, Azone. I know he scored a goal.
No, I'd put Oni in. If you're putting Sariki in, you've got to put Oni in that category as well.
He's the one for me.
Pekka's broken through, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And established himself as a first team. Sariki's pushing his way into as well, but I'll let you have that. Yeah. Femi Sariki, good shout.
Improvement in Sariki in the last 6 months.
Yeah, big improvement. Love that pic behind you, Paul, on the wall of us all at triple point. Yeah, absolutely right. I think, did Bry take that? Or it might have been on Bry's camera. I think he's in the shot.
Bry's in the picture, mate, so I doubt
I think it was Bry's phone.
Unless he's Mr. Tickle.
It might be. That's why he knocks all drinks over. Thank God no international break till March. Hate them. 3-0 tomorrow. After Aria, who would the three of you personally like to get? Nath, stop asking us decent questions when we're trying to wrap up. Who would the three of you like to get the contract to the kit manufacturing the new strips? Dave mentioned this after seeing the Argentina kit. You mentioned this on the group. Who would you go for, Dave?
I mean, that's my dream job, I think, is to sort the kits out for the club.
Answer the question.
If anyone at Bramall Lane wants to offer me a job, I'd be mega at it. I mean, I did like the Adidas stuff, to be fair. I think I'd probably go back to Adidas, and we need to be a big enough club to warrant them actually giving us a bit of extra.
Adidas or Nike are always the ones out there, really. Yeah, I think that people want.
Quality, wash as well. Umbro.
He wants a drill top. He wants a drill top. Does Paolo?
Mate, the old Umbro stuff, can't beat it.
That's true. To be fair, that is retro football, isn't it? Big congratulations on reaching 5K. Jimmy says, Lee, you deserve it. Best Blades content. Always enjoy the watch. Me and my son are getting ready here to travel over to watch the match tomorrow night. Nice one, pal. We'll hopefully see you there. We'll be at Triple Point before if you get a chance. Nice one to break through. The next one to break through could be Marshy, says Bry. I must get round to do some on the under-21s. So the offer's always there, pal. Disco Dave's got too much time in his hands. It was brilliant, though. Sell Marsh for 25 million. That'll fund us, says Pixie. Well, we sold Asula for 15, so anything can happen, can't it? My highlight is Jimmy dancing with the Nigerian flag. Moving past that comment quickly. Wasn't Gaz in the suit, Jimmy? Not sure who it is, but Gaz has not been well recently. All right. Sorry, I misconstrued what you were saying, but either way, hope Gaz gets well.
Then? Not a cat, but can we have a new mascot in honor of Gaz?
Okay. Who wants to be Captain Blade? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just think if he's done it, he did it for that long.
Do you think Captain Blade should retire with Gaz then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a nice.
If that happens, we'll get him a necky cat, don't you?
Well, I think for somebody who's people might not realise it, but done a lot for the club.
Absolutely.
Then yeah, I think that'd be a fitting thing to do.
What's predictions for when Brewster gets his goal? He's got to be fit yet, Beast Boy. I think he'll probably be
46.
If we become the next Crystal Palace and stay in the Premier League for 10 years, that's close to 1.5 billion in prize money. Oh, don't get me wrong, Dublin Blade. If you ask this question to Prince Abdullah or whoever's in charge of the club, they are taking Premier League all day long. It's just, and so are the majority of fans, because that's the sensible thing to do. It's just a lot of us fans as well love these seasons in the Championship where you're strong. It don't automatically guarantee you're going to get promotion, but we're going into a match day tomorrow against Oxford, expecting us to dominate the ball, expecting us to create chances and win the game. So it's different to go into West Ham on a Tuesday night and expecting to get turned over 2-0. So there's just different phases to it in there. So but I understand that. Maybe get Gaz to pop onto the Ramble at some point, lads. He's more than welcome, pal. More than welcome. I'm sure he's got some great tales to tell as well. Yeah, let us know, Bri. Until the rules go in favour of the promoted teams, unfortunately, every promoted team will be relegated, says Nige. It's looking likely that it could drop into that pattern, doesn't it, a little bit? Jack says, imagine being the club that stops a club like Arsenal or Liverpool going top, like we did with Villa with part of the bus draw. It was a good feeling. Yeah, that's true. Little wins, I suppose. Key says, imagine if United demolished Bramall Lane and moved to the pitch to the centre of our land. All stands can grow more anyway. Never leave beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. I'd spit my dinner out. Old chant from the last time this came up. Bramall Lane is Sheffield United. Love that. We have to redevelop like that YouTube vid going round, and the ground has too much history. There's too much history. You only have to read the plaques around the south stand. Absolutely right. I think that's. Do you mean the plans for Sheffield FC, where they've done a lot of mock-ups, haven't they? Of Danny says, "What comes first, the Brewster goal or the takeover?" I'm going takeover.
Obviously, yeah. Brewster scores. We're on the pitch.
Nath says, Jevon Beattie looks a real talent. Wonder if we could get Will Lancashire on loan in January. Knows the club and the ground. Okay,
Doubtful.
okay. This is the last question I'm going with. As I say, I don't want to outstay our welcome tonight. You'll see me plenty this week, and you've already seen me plenty. Nate's suggesting Will Lancashire here. Who do we get with that? If it is 2 loans that we get, what positions do we go for? You don't have to name players or anything, but what positions do we need? I think left winger is a no-brainer, an orthodox left winger, or a left forward like Brereton Diaz, like we've been talking about, but somebody who can come in off the left or go to the byline on the left and cause some real natural problems in that position. The Arblaster thing has caused us a real dilemma because we've got the numbers to cover there. So if it's Sousa and Peck, you've got Tom Davis and Shackleton that can cover. Are you confident in them too? If all our strikers are fit, you've got 4 strikers and we play 1 at the minute. So there's depth. I would go now, because of the Arblaster situation, for a centre midfielder with our second loan rather than a striker.
See, can I counter that?
Of course you can, mate. That's what I've asked the question.
Right, good. Yeah. So not only that, because I've said this to you before, James, you can drop Hamer in there. If you get yourself an orthodox left winger, you can drop Hamer into that position. And also,
very true.
I would caveat it'll depend how the next month pans out for Tom Davis as well. Because if Tom Davis is playing all right, and he comes in and he plays well for us, and then we've got Shackleton in reserve as well. We've got the option of having Hamer, and then we get the left winger. You see what I'm doing? I'm moving Hamer in, putting him out there. You know, I think we're well stocked in there for me, and I think another striker could be the one. Just somebody to come in, 4 or 5 goals late on in games. I know that Campbell's done really, really well, better than we could ever have hoped for in that position, and I'm glad he's done that. But with them 2, they're only our real proper Championship strikers. One we've no idea about. Brewster, he hasn't done it yet for us in 4 years, so what's to say he will now? So I just feel like a striker would be a good, like someone who can add to us, and like say one of the young Premier League strikers who's showing a lot of talent and a lot of, I think getting a lot of game time could be the answer.
Dave agrees. By looks.
Apparently.
Go on then, Dave. What are you thinking?
I disagree, actually.
All right, okay.
I think we do think we need somebody off the left. I think that does give us options to move people around. So I get what you're saying with Hamer. I think us hoping or expecting Vinny Souza to give us 90 minutes over 46 league games is a lot. So I'd like us to bring in someone who also in central midfield, who also likes to tackle, likes to, is good at breaking up play, but an experienced head to bring a bit of guidance and calmness to the squad. Because I don't think I think Davis is more box to box, if I remember rightly from his Everton days.
I think he likes to tackle as well, mate. I think
he does like to tackle.
Yeah,
but in terms of that role that Vinny does for us and has been crucial to how well we've started the season, Gus going into midfield is never going to do that. And I think because again with Peck, I think it's a big ask to chuck him in and expect him to do over half the season. Well, over half the season.
Yeah,
consistently at the level. He needs to be able to be taken out, and they need breaks, especially if you look at, we played Saturday, Tuesday, Friday. 10 men are for most, for best part of an hour on Saturday. There's some incredibly tired legs there, and we're talking about putting Shackleton in, we recognise is probably do a job. Would you want him in there on Friday night against Sunderland? Would you feel happy him in there on Friday night? I think we need somebody. If Tom Davis comes back and can keep himself fit, fantastic. But we've got to be prepared that he needs that proper introduction into playing.
Okay. Where were we now with the comments? So apologies to those that I'm skipping over. We are wrapping up now, and I don't want to outstay our welcome. But H from Steps says, "Evening, Jimmy. Well done reaching 5K. Hopefully no more Norman Collier when you play Sky Internet. Thank you, pal." John Asquith, so pleased for you, mate. Thank you, John. Very much appreciated, pal. And I'll see you on Wednesday. I would break down in tears if we built a new stadium and left beautiful downtown Bramall Lane, says Mr. V. This Brewster hate is unwarranted, says Beast Boy. Joe says, congrats on 5K, Jimmy. Very much deserved. Now Cooper's been sacked, says Nige. Don't think there's any chance for Suter to get called back, is there? No, as broken exclusively on the Ramble. Harry Suter has played too many games now to be called back. So we won't lose Harry Suter in January. There's a chance Alfie Gilchrist and Jezrak Saki get called back in the first week of January. And if they don't get called back in the first week of January, they are with us for the rest of the season. And that, I think, is about it for the comments that aren't going to send us down other rabbit holes. So thank you to everybody that's commented. Brian finishes it off by saying, great show tonight, lads. Loved it. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. A huge thank you to everybody that's supported us so far. It's absolutely incredible. It's blown me away, to be honest. 5,000 subscribers. It's absolute madness. We just love talking about United, don't we? And I love the fact that two of my mates have agreed to join me more frequently on the channel as well, hopefully, if commitments can work out. I appreciate we're all busy, so it won't be every time, but yeah, look for some changes and hopefully some improvements to the Ramble. We're not changing anything that you like. We're just trying to improve and maybe hopefully up the content and things like that. So thank you to everybody for your support. Quick predictions for tomorrow night, lads. I'm going 2-0 Blades.
1-0 Blades.
3-0.
Wow. And on that bombshell, as someone once said, come on, you red and white wizards.
Up the mighty Blades.